What's up, Zoom dude? How you doing? Yeah, they were calling for rain here too. It never showed up. Yeah, it's cool. Excuse me. Very cool app. I've been using it for years. Well, that weather app used to be ad free until they updated it like 2 years ago, I think. And I lost my privileges, for ad free because I was a legacy member. Like I bought the app um, back when it was in beta mode, and it was supposed to be lifetime ad free for me. But when I switched phones, it didn't move over to my new phone correctly, so I lost the ad free. But I don't mind. You can always work around the ads. They're not very obnoxious on that app. Hey, if it works for you, it works for you. Yeah, they're out training, man. There was a big training exercise up in Michigan that just ended a few days ago. So a lot of the planes that were up there participating were from out of state, and they're all flying back to their home bases. So yeah, there's lots of fighters transiting around. Hey, what's up, Mr. Don T? How you doing? Oh, okay. Um, is it over on Twitch, like it whispers? I'll have to look at that in a little bit. Oh, on Messenger. Okay. Hey, what's up, dear Butch? How's it hanging? Hey, Singularity, how's it going? Hey,
How's it going, man?
not so bad.
Nice, nice. I think I've been getting too much sun and haven't been drinking enough water.
That'll mess you up.
I got home. I bet I was home for 15 minutes and I passed out for 2.5 hours, just out cold.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember one time I almost got dehydrated. Um, Dude, I was helping a buddy move.
Mm,
He bought a different condo in the same complex, like just like two little twists of the road, and there was this new place. So he invited, pretty much begged all his buddies um, that were in the tow truck driving business. And I
right.
was one of his friends. We all went over and all moved him one day, and it was like in the middle of August. It was 100 degrees, sweltering, high humidity. Yeah, we were
Yep.
out there most of the day just moving stuff up and down the street with the trailer. And his wife had bought a 24 pack of bottled water for us. And Mike looked at her and laughed. He's like, go right back to the store and buy another one. That ain't going to be enough. She's like, what are you talking about? 24 bottles between four guys. It's like that'll last an hour in this heat. Sure,
I
I drank probably 20 gallons of water and sweat it all out during the
yep.
whole day out in the sun. Yeah,
I'll go through a case of water almost on my own in a day.
yeah. Some
One of the
days it's
Yep,
just like you got the thirst for it, and it's never enough.
exactly. Hey, Zach. Right on. Thank you, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to tomorrow. I am the only guy between two cement plants. So I've got to, yeah, got to start out in the other plant, that one of the other plants that this guy owns. I got to start out in the morning there and then come back to the closer one in the afternoon and run loads there. Everybody's taking 4-day weekends, and I was the only one that was free.
Is it a holiday coming up?
Yeah, it's Memorial Day this weekend. So,
Oh,
or
that man!
Monday.
Wow, I didn't
Yeah,
think that was for another couple of weeks, but
time flies when you're having fun, right? I think it's Memorial Day.
yeah, it sounds about right.
Yep, Memorial Day.
Yeah, because out here we have a big festival that happens in September every year. It's always the last 3 weekends of September, because they don't want to mess with everybody's Memorial Day weekend on the first week.
Right.
Which also means we'll have all kinds of fighter jets and stuff coming into town for the air show.
Oh, I love air shows.
Yeah, me too. I think this year we got the Thunderbirds. They rotated every year between
Nice.
the Thunderbirds and the Blue
The
Angels.
Blue Angels. Nice. We have a little town here that they to kind of serve the high plains here. It's a little town like got like 2,000 people, 1,800, 2,000 people, but the Las Vegas put a big airstrip in to do the Vegas jet that comes in, picks people up and brings them to Vegas and back.
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of a hub that they put this fancy airport in for this little town. And they have air shows there now in that little town. Man, they make some revenue off those air shows.
Oh, yeah. My little dinky county airport that we got out here, it's technically classified as like a level 2 reliever airport for the big Cleveland Regional Airport. It's not that big, but I remember back in the day they used to do an air show there, and they'd have the Confederate Air Force come with all the old planes and everything. And
Nice.
I actually got to meet some of the crew members of the Enola Gay.
Oh, wow.
Got one of their autographs buried somewhere. Yeah, so I met 2 guys that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima.
Nice. That's pretty cool. Not not signatures that you'd get normally. It's not a common thing.
I remember I took collecting autographs was like an 80s, 90s kid thing. And I remember at school one day they had us bring in our autograph books to share with I think it was the social studies class. And the teacher was looking through mine. He's like, "That's not real." I'm like, "The hell it's not. I just got it like 2 weeks ago at the air show." And he's like, "That's not real." He's like, "That guy's dead." I'm like, "No, he's not. I shook his hand." He's like, "Do you even know who this guy is?" I'm like, "Yes, I know who he is and what he did." Nobody else in the class knew. They had no idea. And the teacher thought it was kind of funny that I was the only one who knew about it. And he's like, "Well, this is probably the best autograph you guys are going to see the whole day." And you're like, "Why is that?" It's like, because he nuked Japan.
Yeah, I remember that, like that little town. They had like 9/11 when they started grounding flights. They took flights there. Some people were grounded there. And there's been different things that, they've had to redirect because of weather, and the planes that don't have the fuel, that little town gets a lot of people sometimes.
Yeah, I remember at 9/11 when they shut airspace down, they were putting planes down wherever they could fit them. And that county airport, I guess the strip is long enough to handle like a 737. It can't handle a full size 747, but it can handle some of the mid-size, air carriers. Nice. And military stuff too. I've seen them land just touch and go training shit, like with C-130s and tankers and shit.
When they first put that in high school, and this guy, it can do the full size, because they bring in the big jumbo jets for bringing people to Vegas. But when we're in high school, we'd probably not the brightest thing, but there was a county road that went on the backside of the airport, So we go down there and sit in the ditch, and the planes would just come right up over us.
Yep.
So we weren't breaking
Yeah.
the law. We were on the county road, but yeah.
The Cleveland Air Show, it's at Cleveland's main reliever airport. It's called Burke Lakefront Airport. It's like right on the shore of the lake. And I remember the last time that I went was like 8 or 10 years ago. And
Nice.
before I got to the main gate, I decided to walk down what they got here, what they call the East 9th Street Pier, and it's generally open to the public, the entire length of the pier that goes out into the lake. But of course, for the air show, they had some fat ass security guard sitting out there at a certain, point on the pier, waving people off, saying, "Oh, this part of the pier is closed because of the air show." I'm like, well, "What are you talking about? It's the best place to take pictures." He's like, "Sorry, I'm just doing my job." I'm like, "You asshole."
Hey, Valentine. Willow Run.
Oh, okay. I have heard that the Selfridge show is actually pretty good, but I guess maybe this year it wasn't. And I wasn't aware that they were still doing shows at Willow Run. That place is pretty tiny. It's right outside of Detroit.
I know on some of the air shows that they put on close by here, they'll do they'll do mock cargo drops and stuff like the military planes.
Yeah,
And
airlift
they're
shit.
yeah, and it's all. I mean, there's massive passengers around, so they're able to do it without taking a chance of getting anybody. But
Yep.
they'll just basically drop out barrels and parachute them down and stuff. They're pretty cool.
I
Kind of
remember
showing how they'll do it.
I saw a video a couple years back. U.S. forces over in Europe were doing airlift training in Germany, and someone fucked up big time, and it was all caught on tape.
Oh,
It shows this C-117 flying. Oh, maybe I doubt he was above 1,000 feet. He was kind of low, maybe 800 feet, and he dropped an M1 Abrams main battle tank, and it didn't deploy its chute properly. You can imagine what happened.
ouch. Yeah.
A big poof of dust and sparks, and a bunch of people in the background behind the video camera laughing their asses off. Like, well, someone just lost, their rank.
Yeah. Lost their rank, and I bet you the higher ups were like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. Yeah, they just completely destroyed this tank.
Man, and those, God, what are those? They're like, I can't remember. Are they like $100 million a piece or something like that? Something insane.
I don't think they're as expensive as like the first flight of them were back in, the late 80s.
Right.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I know that the best thing about them is all the new ones are basically on the same chassis as the original M1. They just update them. It's like the most updatable tank ever created.
Yeah, the second version, in the A2 version, costs $6.21 million.
Oh, oh wow. But that's the add-ons. That's just the conversion, right?
Well, that was according to fiscal year 99 when they were first bringing them out. Estimated
Oh.
2016 cost with inflation adjustment was $8.9 million. So yeah, it's an expensive toy.
It's a lot of money, but way cheaper than I thought it was. And in the scheme of things, militarily, that's actually pretty cheap.
Yeah, for a modern battle tank, yeah.
Yeah, that's still easily competitive as one of the top two in the world. I think the only one that is even close is the German one, isn't it?
Well, I've been hearing people saying that. I don't have any information to back it up. It's not something I've ever looked up. But
I've done a little bit on it.
The Brits supposedly have a new tank that's pretty badass. But as far as I'm concerned, the best tank in the world right now is the one that the Israelis got. That thing thing is slick looking.
That it is nice. It definitely for desert warfare though. I mean, but it can tear some stuff up and stay cool, and yeah. Oh, right on, Valentine. The Israelis are that the Russian Armada. I guess they've tried to deploy it a couple times, and I guess it just doesn't even make it to the front lines.
I remember when that thing first came out and they were parading it around Red Square. It looked like a joke.
Yep.
Like they had it like done up with bright fancy colors and everything, and it looked like something that they had built back in like the 70s and just put a new paint job on it. I'm like, come on.
And then the new T series that China has, it's a cheap knockoff of. They tried to make basically an M1, and they didn't know how to do all the tech on it, so they couldn't quite steal enough of the tech to do it. So it's a joke. The West definitely has the tanks. One big difference is where the Abram is still manually loaded, and a lot of the other Western nations are going for the auto loaders. I guess the U.S. with the manual loader, we could fire 2 to 1. What's that?
The reasoning behind that is the U.S. would prefer manual loading because that gives you an extra crew person to help out, with maintenance on the tank and dealing with any kind of battle damage and stuff. Because, auto loaders might be, a tidge more, faster on the reloading side, but you lose that third crewman to help out, with damage and everything.
They say that a well-trained manual loader on some of these Abrams crews can outload the autos, though.
Oh, I believe it.
And they can switch rounds without having to fire. I guess on the auto loads, if they've got a round in, need to switch, they have to fire that round so it ejects it, so they could kick in a new round. Whereas a manual loader, also, they could just pull it out, replace it, and go.
Yeah.
Which is good, because apparently in a lot of these places, they have to change back and forth depending on what they run into, especially in urban warfare.
Yep.
Yeah. It's, I wish we never had to fight a war, but military tech is cool. Jeez. You want to see mean, wait until you run into a flock or whatever you call them, wild turkeys that you tick off. No, those are mean.
Yeah, they can get aggressive,
Yep.
especially like if you come across a whole group of them and you got some toms that are trying to defend their hens. Yeah, they'll get mean on you. They'll try and
And
kick at you and nail you with them big ass spurs that they got on their
yep.
legs.
And they'll bite too.
Mm-hmm.
If they see a bare leg, like if you're wearing shorts, they'll go for skin.
Yeah, I remember watching a video on YouTube where a dude was out. I don't even think he was originally there turkey hunting. I think he was out just like rabbit hunting and squirrel hunting with a
Right.
bow. And he ended up, he had a squirrel call and this rabbit call. And somehow he called in a whole flock of turkeys. And they didn't know he was there until they got like within 2 or 3 feet of him. And because he was in a ground blind at the base of a tree. And once he, stood up because he was going to try and, I think it was in turkey season. So he tried to get a turkey out of it and he just spooked the hell out of them and they all ganged up on him.
Yep. I was
And
fishing. That's all I was
I
doing.
think he would at that point he pulled out his big ass hunting knife and
Mhm.
just started swinging at him because he didn't want to get pecked to death.
And they'll cut you off. They'll like circle around you, cut you off. And yeah, I was throwing my fishing pole, my tackle box. It was insane. Everybody I talked to, and I've talked to even like state game and fish people, and everybody swear I must have got between a nest and the group. And that's what made them so, because apparently if you get between a nest and a group, the males and females will get you.
Yeah.
The reflection on the window. Well, these weren't attacking each other. They were going at me.
And I've heard deer do that too with the window reflections. If you got a buck and he's out, trying to fight other bucks, you'll see the reflection in the glass and he's too dumb to realize it's him. You always hear reports in the summertime about deer smashing people's patio doors and shit because they're out in the backyard, eating from, the bird houses and shit. Oh.
I believe it, because if they're out looking for another buck to challenge, sure. But I haven't seen deer butch since everybody left his house. They didn't do him under, did they?
No, he's been in Aaron's chat for a couple of days now, and he was in here before you came in. He just said hi a few times, and
Really?
I don't know, might have passed out.
Yeah. not surprised there, Zach. Mad at deer butch, huh? Craziness. But yeah, it's been warm here. Our nights are cooling off good though.
Yeah, same. Like it starts to get real warm about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, like the daily peak. And today, I think it got up to like 87. So I did turn the air conditioner on for about an hour just to cool the bedroom down.
Yeah, we've been hitting the high 90s still. I think we were at 96 or 97 today. Yesterday we're just under 100, but it's been getting down to where in the mornings I go in early enough, the sun's not even up yet, and you have to wear a jacket.
Yeah.
And during the summer, I mean, don't get me wrong, it'll get down into the high 60s and 70s, but when you have to start wearing a jacket, fall's coming.
Yeah, where I worked at up in Canada was kind of like that, but mostly year long. During the canoeing season, because they're a lot further north than where I'm at here. So you get up in the morning, and like about the first thing you did was put your fleece pullover on and get breakfast started.
That's what I like about north and plus the higher elevations is the nights, no matter what, they'll cool down. You don't spend many nights that are real hot.
Yeah.
And I know when we did some roofing down in Arizona for a while, and God, the nights were still almost 100 degrees. I was like, how do you guys take this?
Yeah, only place I've ever been where it stayed warm at night if it was hot out is down in south, like in North Carolina and Tennessee, down like by the Smokies.
Right.
It can get real miserable down there, especially with the humidity.
I bet. Yeah. And that was a good thing about Arizona. It was down by Flagstaff. And it was at least dry to where it wasn't that humid heat.
Yeah.
I can barely take the 45, 50% humidity. I don't know how these people could take 85% humidity.
I remember like 10 years ago, I was down in Cincinnati for a concert, and it was like probably 102 degrees and almost 95% humidity because it's right on the Ohio River. And the city's actually like kind of in a little valley. So all that moisture, once it gets in to that section of the river, it don't leave unless you get some powerful winds.
That's eek. I remember I went up to Michigan once, and this has been 20 years ago probably. Went up there, and the closer you got, the more humidity, the more humidity. By the time I got up there, it was really cool. I went to Grand Rapids. I really liked the views and everything and how everything looked, but God, it was miserable.
Yeah, I've been to Michigan tons of times, and I don't ever really remember it being at all that hot.
Really.
I think maybe one day when I was up there with my mom, what we did was we drove up as far north as you can um, on the lower part, just before you get to the big bridge that connects it to the upper peninsula. And
Okay.
we didn't cross because my mother hates driving on big bridges. So what we did was we turned off and followed the mainland up to the northernmost point that you can get on Lake Michigan in the lower half of the state. And then we just drove the coastline all the way south, like almost to the state line where it hits Indiana, heading into Chicago. And we stopped it. We took it slow. We stayed in a couple little towns um, that had like one was just outside of the national forest. That was beautiful, but that was a hot day. I remember that. But for the most part, yeah, Michigan was always agreeable weather-wise. They get a lot of rain. The lower part of the state, like anytime that we get bad weather here, it's like when it's coming through towards us, it hits Michigan and gets stronger before it heads to Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
But then it seems like once it gets up by Toledo, it'll split up, and like the worst of the storms seem to go across Lake Erie, and then pass south of us. So it's like some kind of natural wind funnel area out by Toledo. We don't get
Nice.
half as bad as, severity of storms um, that we used to. Like, this is just a phenomenon that I've noticed over like the last 10 years, because I've always tracked, the regional weather ever since I was like in middle school. So I know what the norm is and what the norm isn't. And I think it's because the Gulf Stream kind of changed its course like 10, 15 years ago. It's just a cyclic, move that happens every 50 years or so. But it kind of helps us out with the severe storms out here. Oh, I'm going to step away for just a second here.
Right on. You still there, Zach? I haven't seen chat move for a while.
Had to reposition my seat cushions,
Oh, nice.
making my ass sore.
I was hoping somebody else would come up and chat too. I can't stay much longer. I got an early morning.
I talked to Wiz just a little bit before I started up, and he said he'd try to come on for a little bit, but we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna keep it super late tonight myself either. I'll say top of the hour at 1 a.m. here my time. I'm gonna shut it down.
Nice. Yeah, and I got probably only about 5 or 10 more minutes. Early mornings. I hate early mornings. I am not a morning person.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get some decent sleep tonight for like the first time in a week.
My unscheduled evening nap screwed me up a little bit, but I got to make myself get to sleep because it won't help me for tomorrow.
That's the one big problem with taking midday naps.
Yep.
It always fucks me up.
Mm-hmm.
See, like my dad, it's weird. Like his whole life, he could power sleep whenever he wanted to, and like just lay down, instantly conk out, and sleep for 20, 30 minutes and wake up completely refreshed. It's like me, I'll try to do that, and I might get like an hour's worth of sleep. But if I don't wake up from that, I end up just staying asleep.
And then it'll mess me up.
Yeah, what it does for me, when I get too much sleep, like for me, 8 hours is too much. My perfect sleep rhythm is like 6 hours. If I get up to 8 hours or more, I start having fucked up dreams. They get crazy.
If I get over 8 hours, and about right for me is 6 to 7. That's about perfect.
Yeah.
If I get over 8, it's almost like I didn't get enough sleep, and my head's foggy, and it takes me forever to get going. And
for years with my schedule, I was getting by on 4.5 to 5 hours of sleep per night for years, just from when I was working at the gas station.
Yep.
Because you're up all fucking night, and then you go home, and your body's telling you, "Hey, go to bed," but your brain's telling you to drink a 6-pack and play on the internet for a couple hours.
Yep. I know on the rigs there was some jobs that out in the middle of nowhere where it took a couple hours one way to get there. No towns with motels anywhere close. So you had to drive that 2 hours to and from work, and we had 12-hour towers. So we'd, by the time you left, till the time you got back, you were gone for 16 hours.
Yep.
Well, then, you got to wake up an hour early to get going. You don't go to bed right away. So you're looking at only 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. And
Yeah.
the workover rigs were worse because you work daylight hours. So during the summer, there's a lot of nights where we just slept in our pickups. It beat driving. For a while, we had some pretty good pushers that they would do kind of a night shift, and like if we were trying to sleep during the day or vice versa, they'd swap with us so a few of us guys could bunk up in his on-site trailer.
Yeah.
Anybody watched Biden's little thing? I haven't even paid attention to it.
No, I just got a notification about it. I'm not interested at all in what that fool has to say.
Yeah, I was just curious how many times he called us all terrorists again.
Yeah, if he's ever out in public and opens his mouth, I'll wait a day or two until a YouTuber makes a commentary video on it and just rips him to pieces.
Yeah, that's what I do anymore. I can't take listening to it because anymore it's like if you disagree with that side, then you're bad. It's like, no.
Yeah.
I basically turned all news off, and as all I do is work, come home, play little tanks, watch a little, Stargate or Star Wars, and then go to sleep. Maybe in the mornings I'll catch some update clips or something on the news, but that's about it. Mostly like Judicial Watch and stuff like that. Well, there's 7 people watching, so I bet you Don is out there somewhere. He should come up.
Well, I think his wife was up here right at the start. She said hello. She said he's good. He got his solar panels powered up, so he's really happy. So,
Oh, right on. Yeah, we're trying to get some type of girls' night again going too, to where they have a night to where they can come up and chat. I don't know if anything else came of that, but I think we're all
it's
going to
always an
discuss
option
it.
if we can get enough girls who want to come up on screen to do it.
Right. And even Nightingale said she'd be willing to come up with Mrs. Dawn and Huckleberry. So one night a week is pretty easy. Multiple nights a week, that gets a little more difficult because plans don't always go as scheduled.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Wiz about this, and he's pretty much of the opinion that he's only really looking for us to stream Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Right.
I mean, we're more than welcome to start up one on another day if we're bored, but that's all he can really handle right now because he's got so much shit to do at his place.
Right. And I get that. Yeah. That's I don't think I could do it every night for a long time. I mean, I guarantee something would come up and I end up going, several days not being able to. So
yeah. And there's quite a few other people that are doing the weekend streams too, so there's always an option. Because I know Deer Butch likes to do his stream only like on Fridays and Saturdays, and I know Aaron does his shit almost every night.
Oh, he does still? Nice.
Oh yeah. He was on tonight.
I guess he's was telling people one night that he's getting like $500 a month from Twitch.
Yeah. he could get more if he goes for like the next level of partnership.
Right.
But I think that's like he's at over just over a little over 1,000 followers. I think the next step for him, I want to say it's 5,000, but don't quote me on that.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, in my opinion, at least, if you have that many, fans and followers, they start inundating the chat, and he just throws swords at everybody. He says it makes it easier for him, to deal with people, and you
Yeah.
get all these new people that just start shit on his show.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not fun when you got people in there that just go in to just irritate people, and then they've got a sword to where you can't do anything. Get back on Twitch. Are you? Did you quit Twitch too? I got rid of Twitch.
I still got it.
No, you still got it. Yeah. I just, even within our own group, it was starting to get again to where you started getting factions again. It's like, no, I'm not going to do this again.
Well, it's just a matter of preference, really. Some people
Yeah.
prefer the YouTube style chat. My thing with
Yeah.
Twitch was it works better with my browser. When I'm not streaming, if I'm just watching a stream, Twitch seems to work a lot better sometimes, but then it goes through periods where it just completely bugs out, and you'll have to like restart your stream 20 times for it to work, and it gets annoying as hell.
Nice. I know it was killing my battery.
That is one disadvantage of Twitch. It's a bandwidth hog, and it's a battery hog.
Yeah.
Now, what I do if it's chewing up a lot of bandwidth and I'm on mobile and I don't want to, kill my battery right away, and especially if I'm on mobile data, to save some of that, if you choose the option to do just chat only, so you don't have a video screen going, it saves you a lot of battery power and a lot of bandwidth.
No,
It's
right
like,
on.
it works great with Aaron's stream because you're not missing nothing. All he's doing
Yeah.
is sitting in a chair.
Yep. As long as you can hear him
do it
talking,
1,000
that's all.
times.
Yep. Oh, right on, Zach.
And I don't know. It might work if you. How do I put this? The bugginess might go away if you constantly download the updates to the app if
Yeah.
you're using it on your phone. But I don't trust the updates.
No,
It's just
I don't
like
like
Windows updates. I try to avoid doing updates, like especially with YouTube.
Right.
They tend to sneak in new things and make it suck.
Hey, Jess. Right. Jess is Hawk's ex.
Say what?
Gesture is Hawk, his ex.
Oh, his ex.
Yeah, she was on as something else. I can't remember what name she was.
Oh, must have missed that conversation.
Doing well, thank you. Hope you're doing good too.
We're winding down for the night.
Yeah.
Got about a half hour left.
I know there's somebody out there that's come up. There's 8 people watching. I feel bad leaving you hanging on your own, but my eyes are getting heavy.
Oh, it's all right, man.
But yeah, I think I might, before I end up falling asleep while I'm talking to you and snoring into the microphone all night, I might say thanks for running it tonight. We'll chat with
Yep.
you later, man.
All right. Have a good sleep.
Yep. Take care. Bye,
You
chat.
too. Well, Zoom, did you get the link that I sent you for the Canadian prospector guy? His name was Dan Hurd. He put some great videos out if you're into prospecting at all. Here, I'm gonna type in 2 channel names. You can just search for them on YouTube. Yeah, check those 2 out. Ugh. Yeah, it's a big boy train for sure. Well, nobody else comes up here in 5 minutes. I'm shutting down. So, hey, Wiz, what's up? Just getting ready to shut things down, but if you want to come up for just a little bit. All right. Yeah, well, Singer was just up here a little while ago keeping me company, and he just went off to bed about 5 minutes ago. So I'm about ready to hit the sack myself. So if no, it's all good, dude. Me and Sing can usually get a good conversation going. So alrighty, folks, it is that time again. Look for us tomorrow. Y'all take care. Have a great one. Peace out.